Hey guys, Mr. T here for another one of our stage or starter ranking Pokemon videos. So if you haven't already seen it, I did the stage 3 and stage 1 for the grass side. So go watch those, especially the stage 3 because that explains the rules and details. Here I'm just going to do a quick skim through of them. So let's just dive right in. So the rules are simple. I am ranking the stage 3 and stage 1 Pokemon of each of the starter lines. Stage 2, well, I'm not really reading those, and you can go watch the grass videos as to why. So these rankings are based solely off that stage Pokemon alone. So when I'm ranking these, I am not taking into account or consideration the other Pokemon in that evolution line. I am only ranking that specific Pokemon, and that's it. And let's be completely honest, we all know who number 1 is going to be. So let's go ahead and dive into the list and let's see who got that number 2 ranking, because anyone who's watched any of my videos already knows who number 1 is going to be. So my number 9, my least favorite, and if this video was made this time last year, I'd probably get some flack for this one, because he would still be my least favorite. But after some information that came out on this Pokemon last year, I feel vindicated that he's never been my favorite. Even in his region, he's my third favorite of the 3 starters, and that's Typhlosion. You can go back and see other videos of mine. You can see posts I've made before. I'm not switching sides. I have been this way forever. I've never been a big fan of Typhlosion. I actually like Hisuian Typhlosion better than regular Typhlosion. And that's not just me saying this recently. You can go back and look. I have always been vocal about that. Meganium is my favorite Johto starter, hands down. And I've never said otherwise on that one. So Typhlosion, I don't know what it is about his design. I mean, with Cyndaquil's such a cool Pokemon, and I love Cyndaquil. Typhlosion's design just kind of fell flat. I don't know why, especially when you compare him to Feraligatr and Meganium. He just wasn't that great. And then in the show, in the TV show, it feels like he had so much more potential, and he fell flat. Plus, he was kind of coming on the coattails of Charizard. I mean, how do you follow in the footsteps as the second starter, fire starter, after Charizard? It just, Typhlosion got a bad rap. And then after the information that came out last year, well, I'll let everyone else, all the Typhlosion fans, decide on that one. But yeah. So now my number 8, and I almost thought about flipping these two, but I just wanted to throw Typhlosion last to rub it in the face of everyone who loved him. But my number 8 is Emboar. And I don't hate Emboar, and you're going to hear me say this again, I know I'm only ranking Emboar in this, but Tepig, his unevolved form, falls under the same category when you'll hear about that when I get to that part of the next video. But Emboar isn't bad, he's just forgettable. Whenever even when I was doing this ranking list and just doing it in my head, I'm like, oh my god, what's that 9th one? I keep forgetting, and I'm like, oh, it's Emboar. So it's not that he's a bad Pokemon. Like, his design is even kind of cool, and some of the Pokemon cards of him are actually pretty cool cards. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm gonna give him another chance when Legend ZA comes out, and, see what his Mega Evolution is going to look like, because they confirmed all 3 of the starters are getting Mega Evolutions. Meganium, I think, is the only one that's been shown so far. So I'll give him another chance, see what happens. Maybe he moves up a few places on my list. But I don't hate him. I just forget he exists sometimes, Now, for my number 7, I know I'm going to get flack for this one, because this is one of the more favorite starter Pokemon out there, just in general, let alone fire. But honestly, it's Incineroar. I understand the concept behind Incineroar, and I like him, but my question is, why do we have a Luchador Pokemon in the Pacific Islands? Like, there were so many other better times to release a Luchador Pokemon, or, just make a Pokemon game in Mexico. Like, that actually wouldn't be the worst idea. Between the Aztecs and the Mayan artifacts and all that, you could have a pretty cool game in Mexico. That's when you should have released a Luchador Pokemon. So I think it's like, again, if Incineroar just came out as a Pokemon in Alola, it wouldn't be that bad. But the starter Pokemon are supposed to resemble the region. And again, I've looked into this a little bit. I mean, again, Sun and Moon have always been my least favorite Pokemon game, so I've never looked into it, in earnest. So there might be an in-game or a story reason as to why Incineroar, which is a luchador fighting Pokemon, is in the games. I've never looked it up though. So it's like, why do we have a luchador Pokemon in the middle of the Pacific Ocean? I've just never understood it. And I would be lying if I didn't say that Incineroar in Super Smash Bros. Also kind of contributes to his low spot on this list. Whether that's fair or not, I don't care. It's my video. Go do your own video if you don't like it. Now, my number 6 is Delphox. And again, just like I said with the grass starters in my other videos, Delphox isn't horrible. And I kind of like his background and his design and the concept behind him. But again, Gen 6 was great. Kalos was a great game. But that's also when the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire remakes came out. And that's what dominated my time. So it's kind of hard to compete when you're going up against my literal favorite Pokemon games ever. So I feel like all the Gen 6 Pokemon got hit a little bit with that. But again, Delphox isn't bad. I never really played the Kalos games too much. The only reason I really played Kalos in earnest was to get Pokemon to trade to Ruby and Sapphire. That was really the big reason. So again, maybe I'll do another playthrough and choose Delphox. Maybe it'll be fine and cool. Who knows? And again, the other thing that kind of hurt Kalos is literally once you get to Lumos City or whatever the big city name is, I think it's Lumos City, you get one of the original Kanto starters too. So it's like you got Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire coming in from one side. I'm given one of the Kanto starters from the other. It really wasn't fair for the Gen 6 starters all around. But again, that's why Delphox is so low. Now, another controversial one. I know some of you are going to hate me for putting him so low, but my number 5 is Infernape. Again, Infernape is great. I think he's cool. I can't stop yawning. I think he's cool. He definitely ranks a lot higher than Chimchar is going to rank when you see that video. So Infernape is cool. There's nothing bad about him. And the Sinnoh region's awesome. Sinnoh is probably my second favorite region overall, only after the Hoenn region with Gen 3. But I don't know. It's not that Infernape is bad. I just like the other ones above him more. That's really ultimately what it comes down to. So no hate for Infernape. He's a great Pokemon. I love Ash's Infernape and all that stuff. But again, he's not bad. The ones above him, I just think personally are better. That's the only reason he got so low. So no Infernape hate. If he's your favorite Pokemon, good for you. You do you. Nothing against you. I just like these other 4 better. So now for my top 4, my number 4 is Skeledirge. I love this Pokemon. Oh, I can't stop yawning. I don't know why. Skeledirge is awesome. I think Gen 9 got more hate than it should have. I know there were some issues with the open world, but and even with some of those issues, I never had any major problems. I had one glitch early on and it was patched right away. So I feel like, Pokemon did open world for the first time, and because it wasn't perfect and pristine, they got ripped to shreds over it, even though they fixed all the problems almost as fast as they popped up. So I liked the storyline for Paldea. I liked the starters. The starters were great, but Skeledirge just stood out. I mean, when I saw him, I can't stop yawning. Skeledirge just stuck out to me, and I'm like, yes, I need him. He is such a cool-looking Pokemon. He's bad and just so awesome all around. Plus, he's stacked in battle, too. So Skeledirge is definitely my top 4. He's one of my more favorite starters just in general. Now, time for my top 3. So let's see who is going to get that number 2 spot, because there ain't no fighting number 1. So my number 3 is Cinderace. I mean, a cool, awesome-looking fire bunny that also plays soccer. Like, yes, please. Like, Cinderace is awesome. It was, when I first played Galar in Gen 8 with Sword and Shield, it was... I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm yawning all of a sudden. But it wasn't even a choice. Scorbunny, I picked him. Cinderace, evolved to him. He is one of my all-time favorite Pokemon. If I did a master list of like 20 to 25 Pokemon, Cinderace would easily be on there. He's not necessarily a top 10 for me, but he's definitely a top 15, top 20. His design is cool, his special move is cool, the whole soccer aspect is great. He is just a stacked, awesome Pokemon all around. And my number 2 favorite starter, because we all know who number 1 is going to be, is Blaziken. I mean, Sceptile has always been my go-to because of Charizard. I didn't want 2 fire Pokemon on the team together. But if we take Charizard out of the equation, Blaziken's better in my mind. I like Blaziken better than Sceptile. The only reason I rank Sceptile higher, oh my god. The only reason I put Sceptile higher than Blaziken sometimes is because I use Sceptile more. When I have my master team and the team I've actually used to win matches with and I've actually won some Pokemon tournaments, Sceptile's on my team because of Charizard. I don't want to have Blaziken and Charizard on the same team because that double stacks the fire and it makes it harder for me. But overall, I like Blaziken better than Sceptile, and Blaziken's just so cool. Plus, May's Blaziken in the series was phenomenal. Blaziken is an amazing Pokemon, and he's always going to be one of my favorites. And then, of course, do I even need to show this slide? Of course, it's Charizard. Charizard is my favorite Pokemon of all time. I don't care what you say. I don't care the hate you give. I am not one of those bandwagon Charizard guys. Again, I've said this time and again. Charizard's been my favorite since I was a little kid. I mean, I could barely speak or read, and I was already loving Charizard. So I'm not one of those new age bandwagons. I've been a Charizard fan since the OG days. I literally have the original Charizard Pokemon card from the original pack in the late 1990s. And that's never going to change. I can promise you until the day I die, Charizard's going to be my favorite Pokemon. There is never going to be another Pokemon that could ever possibly come out that would usurp Charizard as my favorite. There's some that could make the argument for maybe second. Jolteon's got that pretty locked down. But third, fourth, fifth, top 10, those are always changing. Especially some of these newer Pokemon that have come out were awesome. But Charizard holds a special place in my heart. And it is what it is. All right? All right, so stay tuned for the Stage 1 fire starters, and I promise you don't know who number 1 on that one's going to be because you think you do, hint, hint, but you don't. So stay beautiful, Americans. Stay tuned for the next video, and peace out.